President Obama promised on his third day in office that he would close the Guantanamo Bay detention facility.
Guantanamo will be closed no later than 1 year from now.
He hasn't made good on that promise, and with just 34 days left in office, that's unlikely to change. Over the last 15 years, 780 detainees have come through Gitmo. At its peak, 682 detainees were held at the same time. When President Obama took office in 2009, that number had dwindled to 242. 59 inmates now remain at Guantanamo, 15 of whom are deemed to be high value, like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the accused mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks. As a candidate, President-elect Trump vowed to keep the contested prison open.
This morning I watched President Obama talking about Gitmo, right? Guantanamo Bay, which by the way, we are keeping open. And we're going to load it up with some bad dudes, believe me, we're going to load it up.
Jason Leopold made one last trip to Obama-era Gitmo as the military there prepares for a new commander-in-chief.
We plan for every contingency. Right now we're planning to reduce the population and close this place down. But if we get an order to do the opposite, we're prepared to do that as well.
That's how the military works here at Gitmo. The commander changes, the orders change. But a new administration will most likely have the biggest impact on the fate of 59 detainees left on this base. As it stands, of the 59 detainees currently being held, 22 have been cleared for transfer. But unless the Obama administration can find countries willing to accept those 22 before Trump is sworn in, it's unlikely they'll ever be released.
So they're all thinking about what's my possibility for a transfer or what's going to happen. So when they see some of their compatriots or friends or even folks they don't like leaving, they see that there's a possibility for them to leave.
What happened here on November 8th?
The detainees were interested in what was going on, so they were all watching the news. Everyone was calm. There were no really negative responses to it whatsoever.
The detainees here, who have access to satellite television, are very aware of American politics. Trump has said he would reintroduce a policy of torture, which Guantanamo detainees endured between 2002 and 2006.
They said, what do you think about waterboarding? I said, I like it a lot, and I don't think it's tough enough.
Military leadership here won't talk about what they would do if Trump's calls to torture become orders.
If you received an order from the new administration to carry out these, techniques, for example, waterboarding, would you honor that order?
That's speculative. I am confident that there will be no torture here, and whatever orders we receive, by the time they come to me, I'm confident those will be legal orders that I will be ready to carry out.
The never-ending terrorism trials on the island may end up being just a preview of Trump's plan. He said he was open to prosecuting Americans accused of terrorism before the military tribunals at Gitmo. A 3-day tribunal hearing for the 5 men accused of plotting the 9/11 attacks had just ended while we were there. We spoke to an attorney who represents one of the accused, and he said it really doesn't matter who is president when it comes to Guantanamo, because the status quo remains the same.
This will be the third president that Guantanamo's been open under, so in some ways it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, who the president is. For the past 15 years, Guantanamo's been open.
It seems like things are still in quite a bit of disarray.
Absolutely. One of the jokes, standard jokes around here is that it's not that Guantanamo's been open for 15 years, it's been open for 1 year, 15 times.
There are plenty of policy unknowns, but the biggest mystery at Guantanamo is what the 59 detainees think about their predicament. They're aware when media tours like ours are in process. And inside Camp 6, a 39-year-old Yemeni, identified by his attorney as forever prisoner Khalid Qasim, held up a painting to the one-way glass that's as good a summary as any.